All right, welcome back, folks. This is Sheepdog Smokey, and we're looking at a new story that, well, not horribly new, but in the last several days it's come up. Last Thursday, we saw an absolute evil person decide to murder people in New Zealand. As we learn more about that evil being, we learn that they describe themselves as an eco-terrorist, as a socialist, and is definitely not a conservative. Yet the media immediately blamed Donald Trump for someone who hates him doing something illegal. Yet this is ignored. We have a recent death toll of Christians in Nigeria reached 120, with the slaughter of more than 50 in a week by a Fulani Muslim militants in the Kaduna state of Nigeria. The Fulani jihadists, who have become a greater threat to Nigerian Christians than the Islamic terror group Boko Haram, stormed the villages of Nkirimi, Dogonama, and Ungangora in the Kajuri local government area last week, destroying 143 homes, killing 52 people, and wounding dozens more. The assailants reportedly split into three groups, the first of which fired upon the people, the second set fire to the buildings, and the third chased down people fleeing the scene. Victims of that assault included women and children. Monday's incident followed an attack the day before in the Ungwan Barde village in Kajuru, where 17 Christians were killed and dozens of homes were burned. In the first week of March, Muslim extremists massacred more than 30 Christians in the Karamar village, setting fire to the houses and a church. The terrorists reportedly shot at families trying to escape the fire, killing 32. The spate of recent attacks against communities has taken place within the predominantly Christian Adara chiefdom of southern Kaduna. The governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El Rufai, has imposed a dusk to dawn curfew on the Kajuru local government area to try to contain the violence. In late February, militants attacked the Maro village, killing 38 Christians and torching homes as well as a Christian church. The Christian Post reported that the Fulani militants killed thousands of Christians in 2018 alone in what many are calling a Christian genocide in Nigeria's Middle Belt. Last December, a leading Anglican bishop in Nigeria, Dr. Benjamin Argak Kwashi, said that the Muslim Fulani militants represent the number one terrorist threat facing Christians in Nigeria. The government is able to provide protection to the Christians, but what's obvious to everybody is that the government is unwilling, Kwashi told Breitbart News. The Fulani herdsmen are a bigger threat, Kwashi added. Boko Haram operates in the northeast and scantily moves into other areas, but the Fulani herdsmen are widespread. They're everyone now, so the Fulani are a bigger threat. No one wants to talk about this. No one wants to even allow anyone to talk about this because it doesn't fit the narrative. An eco-terrorist socialist who literally admitted, I decided to shoot people so that even though it's already illegal to do, America would be shamed into making it more illegal, I don't know, double super secret awesome illegal, to do this. Literally admitted, I'm breaking the law so that I'll make other people unable to defend themselves against people who break the law. It's almost not been reported at all that at a second site, an armed man drove the attackers away because he was armed. Yet we have this happening in Nigeria right now. Fulani Muslim jihadists are attacking Christians, burning homes, burning churches, and shooting people who try to run. And it's almost not even reported at all. I have to find out from this about this from the internet. I didn't even hear it on Fox before I decided I'm not watching them because Fox decided to cancel Judge Janine Pirro's show because she spoke the truth. We've seen it before. We've seen the warning that when truth becomes hate, the world is no longer free. And this is what has to stop. We have to stop the insanity that leads to stories like this, where you see that in 2018 alone, we had such death that it should have been everywhere in the media. I'm flabbergasted, honestly. Every report here you see is double or triple digits. They're torching homes. The government is unwilling to help. Imagine if you reversed the religions here. Imagine a story about a group of Christians targeting Muslims all over Nigeria, burning their churches, burning their homes, shooting those fleeing the violence. It would be top story, only story for weeks and weeks on end on every network except Fox. It would get a mention and it would get fair treatment. But this doesn't get anything. We have 120 Christians killed in 3 weeks, 40 a week targeted for their faith. But when Ilhan Omar speaks anti Semitic drivel, trying to drum up hate for Israel, we're the bigots for pointing it out. When an avowed socialist eco terrorist whack job openly admits, I'm going to break the law, so you have to change the law for law abiding citizens to make it easier for people to kill them when they break the law, it's blamed on the people he hates. I'm honestly not surprised that this is underreported. I'm actually rather surprised that we've not heard a story on CNN or MSLSD about how this is just a blatantly racist report and should be scrubbed from the internet for sowing fear and hatred of Muslims. They know what they're doing. They sleep behind guarded walls where men with guns stand ready to shoot anyone who tries to even enter. But we're supposed to disarm. This is what what looks like. What it looks like. What happens when a population is disarmed? The criminals rule. You'll notice that the government, the mayor, is Nasir El Rufai, and all he's done is say, "Don't leave your homes after dark." This is like what we've seen in period movies where the church has the doors barred as it burns and kills everyone inside. They're telling you not to run. They're telling you stay where you are. And of course, it's broadcast nationwide or region wide or whatever it may be. I guarantee you these Fulani jihadists know there is a dusk to dawn curfew. At first, they'll be hiding behind trees and bushes and rocks, picking off anyone who steps out of their home. But within a short spate of time, you'll see homes set on fire and people shot as they flee the burning building. And then you'll hear they were supposed to stay in their homes. So we had to take action to enforce the curfew. We're living in the end of days. We're living in what I believe to be Revelation times. And there's no real timeline for that. We know that rumors of war will persist and wars will get worse. Plague and famine will get worse and worse as we go. We're watching as wars break out. Rumors of war have people terrified. We're watching as diseases thought eradicated are returning due to the insanity of people who say, no, vaccines cause autism, when the overwhelming research, all but really one debunked article, says they don't. But we're seeing a resurgence of typhus, polio, measles, and more. We've actually seen cases of typhus in Los Angeles. And it's not spread person to person directly. It's actually being spread because people are all over who have it. So it gets into the air and into the material of the floor and all over. And now we're seeing it just explode. How long will it be until we have plague rats and bubonic plague resurge? How long will it be until we have diseases that we have no vaccine for are commonplace? How long until we see the plague masks from Britain return and bodies burned en masse? We're seeing it begin. We're seeing the wars and rumors of war right here. This is the Pale Rider. This is the angel of war, the horseman of war, arriving to stoke everything to a boiling point. And he's succeeded to a large degree. Next is plague, famine, disasters we've not seen in millennia. And we have people who are so blind, they'll look around and blame the people who are suffering for their suffering. Given time, If this was unavoidable on CNN, I would not be surprised to see Acosta or Cooper or Morning Joe and Morning Mika or Maddow on NBC say that the Christians are invading the Muslim homelands and pushing them away, forcing them to become rogues to reclaim their homeland. While we're told that we can't victim shame, we're watching people do it. Where it ends, I can't say, honestly, except for the ultimate end, the end of the world, which will happen eventually one day. I know I pray for it to be billions of years into the future, billions of millennia into the future. I would love to see a society as we did in Star Trek where they just did away with money because everyone has a machine on their wall that can make anything they want from food to clothing and everywhere in between. But that's not realistic. It's not logical. Certainly not an adult way to go through life. I work my butt off every day of the week to earn a paycheck that I then use to build the house I'm in. And as you can see, I'm in my bedroom. I've yet to finish the home. But I'm also helping my parents pour a driveway or put one in eventually. I'm helping them with other things. I have other obligations. And I'm told I'm a bigot because I don't support high taxes. I'm told I'm a racist because I point out that Fulani jihadists are murdering Christians right and left and up and down Nigeria. This is what must stop. We must tell the so-called reporters who tell us we're evil for pointing things out that we're not evil. We have our eyes open. We must tell the spoiled rich brats in Congress we're tired of them living lives of royalty while we're living lives of, pardon me, of just peasants. We're seeing a return almost of the fealty system, of serfdom. And if the Green New Deal goes forward, if the Democrats get their way, it will become that. We will literally be told where to live, what to do for a living, and we'll be told the house we gave you, the food we let you have, the clothing we let you have, the shoes we let you use to walk to your job that we gave you and we told you to do, that's your pay. You don't need any more. As they gallivant everywhere, drink their wine, eat their beef, watch television, and do everything and anything they want, we live in squalor, if we live at all. But that's enough for me on this. I've made enough of a racket over this. I'd love to hear what you think. Keep the comments classy, keep them civil. A debate is the only way any of us ever really learn. Pardon me. When we debate, both sides make their point. Then they rebut, if the other side rebuts those points. And inevitably, you must do research to continue rebutting the other side's point. It may end in one side being convinced of the other's point. It may end in both sides walking away. But we can be civil and logical people about this. Make your point. Make your argument. Take your stand. But do so in a civil and classy manner. And allow others to do the same. Until the next time, you can find me here on Twitter. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so that when I finally have my project completed, where I'll be giving lectures, as I did years ago in high schools, where I'll be teaching history that's no longer properly taught. Make sure if you want to keep up with that, also hit that notification bell. Until then, this is Sheepdog Smokey saying keep your powder dry.